According to a research, the readers live longer than non-readers. Well, is that true? It's proven. Let's find out. Well, today we're going to talk about effects of reading on brain and the benefits, and also what all my personal experience being a reader. Well, I'm going to even list out all the books. Well, I'm a beginner, but what all books I've read and what are my experiences, what all I observed by being a reader. So let's get started. Okay, usually while we are reading, writing, learning something, or when I'm including emotions while I'm talking to you, talking to someone, then there is a part of the brain that actually put itself into functions, and it needs this complex network circuit and signals. So in when an MRI scan is conducted on human brain to know whether what kind of signals and circuits are formed or what happens in the brain when we start reading. So it is proven that in the brain this complex network circuits and the signals become stronger when you start reading, or if you are a reader you have this circuit really strong comparative to non-readers. We usually have four lobes in our brain: frontal, parietal, occipital, and temporal. So, these four lobes are actually responsible for different functions in our body, and they do have a different regions within themselves, and they are also assigned for a particular function of the body. And now, these four lobes need to have compatibility within themselves to have a proper function to control the body in a proper way. Well, this brain connectivity increases in readers. Somatosensory complex. Now, what is this? Well, I'll give you an example over here. If somebody is lighting a fire under my elbow, I don't know, it is happening from behind. Completely involved into another task. Suddenly, when I feel that heat, I feel pain. At the same time, I'll give a physical movement, a jerk immediately. Feeling a pain and giving the jerk physical movement at the same time is what controlled by the somatosensory complex or cortex. So now this somatosensory complex is placed in the parietal lobe. Again, in this, as I said, mentioned before, in the parietal lobe we have different areas assigned to different functions, and this 3B area is particularly assigned for the somatosensory cortex. Now, let us understand the concept of theory of mind. This is especially fiction readers' quality. When you start imagining something, we all know imagination is a very powerful tool to increase your brain creativity, right? So, when you start imagining something, you tend to imagine in a very beautiful picture or any kind of your favorite genre, right? For me, I love adventurous or any thrilling, suspensive, detective type of stories. Depending on your favorites, you tend to imagine things that way, right? Why theory of mind increases in fiction readers? By the way, what is theory of mind? To put it in a very simple way, theory of mind is actually experiencing and imagining or else feeling someone's emotions in a very deeper way than what usually people do. We tend to always feel this, right? It's not my problem, let it be. We don't feel sad when some other person feels sad. uh, I'm not telling that connectivity between two humans, theory of mind is different from connection that we humans have at human level. It is understanding someone's problem in a very keen, deep, and clear way. To put it very simple, very stable way I can say, because when something you already know, you have read it in a book, you have imagined the situation, and you are familiar with the situation now because you've already experienced it by imagining yourself in that kind of a situation that you have read in a fiction book. And when someone comes and tells you the same story, you're pretty well to understand the depth of the emotion what they're currently feeling right now. That is theory of mind. Paper or digital? What do you have to prefer? Let's get to know. Well, we have a complete video on this debate, right? I call it debate because, yeah, we are these days don't understand whether it's paper effect or digital effect, and we tend to have so many videos on that on YouTube as well. So, here, on based on the research, paper effect is more beneficial compared to digital effect. It is said that you score more when you practice on paper comparative to digital reading. Why? Let us make it very, very simple. See, digital has its own disadvantages. Now, when you read on digital, not only your skins get affected, your eye gets stressed, but your even brain neurons doesn't feel safe, doesn't feel comfortable when they receive such kind of signals. And it is also proven, I want to stress this, that reading on digital or spending time on digital can destroy your memory power and creativity. Now let's talk about three researches that is conducted on readers to know what are the benefits and effects of reading on your brain. Well, the first one is according to a university when it conducted research on 1635 adult participants, that too not for 1 day, 2 days or 15 days, but they have been under supervision, been an observance for 12 years of the reading career, I can say that. And they have noticed this, that all the readers have lived 2 years longer comparative to non-readers. Isn't that amazing? If you're someone who love your life so much and looking forward to live longer, then what are you waiting for? Here is a solution. Go start reading. And who doesn't want to live long? I think this can wonder you. Reading books can reduce depression. According to this university, it has conducted a research that observing people who read a lot, especially self-help books, psychological books, can help you a lot. But when you start reading, within 6 minutes of reading, it can reduce your stress levels to 68%. If your lifestyle is really hectic and you feel a lot of stress these days, and if you're someone who's looking for a habit that relieves you from the stress, reading can do great benefits to you. And as research shown, I think you no need to retreat back from reading. If you're not someone who don't like to meditate, reading is the best option. If reading is also not your kind, what is the function of amygdala? Okay, now is this a science class? Hold on, I'll make it simple for you. It's interesting. Well, amygdala is something that is present in your cerebral hemisphere. Cerebral hemisphere is a part of cerebrum in your brain. Well, now I'm going to show you at the end of this video the reports of the response of amygdala by NCBI when you read fiction books. So stay tuned. You said you will say about the function, na? Oh, yeah, by the way, the function of amygdala is processing the information, especially emotional, like fear, stimuli, such kind of thing. Honestly, I'm a beginner in reading books, but I'm always into reading articles. I love reading research based articles, facts, based on hormones, nutrition, psychology, human body. This is what I'm always interested into. And I love reading such kind of research based articles. At the same time, when I started reading books recently, I think from lockdown, so that's when I started falling in love with this reading books, especially with the inspiration of Helly. I love her, and she is the one who inspired me to read books a lot. And there is one of my friend who read books a lot, so I've borrowed books from her. First thing is Chocolate House. Well, I didn't complete the book because obviously it's my first book and I'm not into such kind of stories, so I didn't complete the book. And the second book I've read is Chetan Bhagat's Two Stays, which is so hyped in the market. I didn't read the end part of the book, but better, I've read 3/4 of the book. I didn't complete that one too. Third one is Revolutionary 2020, again by Chetan Bhagat. Okay, now let me compare. Actually, I love this book rather than Two States. I loved Revolutionary 2020 by Chetan Bhagat, then comparing to this Two States, and I completed the book. I really loved the book and the moral of the story. I really loved it. And the fourth book that I read is There Is No One at the Bus Stop. I currently have this book on there, so I didn't take it. So, yeah, There Is No One at the Bus Stop is a story which is suspensive, but it is actually worth reading. There is a moral in the story. So, and the fourth one is this one. Where's this one? So this is the book that I'm currently reading, and I also have a book which is lined up after this. Is this one? This is a psychological book. So yeah, so I'm currently on this. I'm almost about to finish this book. Well, now my personal experiences that I've faced by reading books. Well, Readers doesn't experience cognitive decline. Alzheimer's disease, which is very commonly known, calculated books that doesn't matter, but reading literally helps you to put this cognitive decline away from you. And um, anyhow, I want to mention one point here, guys. I feel this cognitive skills and cognitive ability is something that is very underrated in our day-to-day life skills that we're learning these days. So if you're looking to upskill your any kind of skill, try to focus on cognitive skills as well, because irrespective of your age, it is important. According to me, I feel this personally, assertiveness and empathetic two, if they come together, they make the gem quality. What do you think of that? Let me know in the comment box below. Preserve all these good habits and give it to the next generation, and let them also handle the responsibility of making the earth a much better place and safe place for the next coming up generation to live, not only them but other beings as well. So we are already into this personal talk, and now let's share my personal experience being a reader. There will be few books like this and self-help books which actually make you feel, giving thought for your own thoughts. Oh my god, I haven't thought that this is the reason why this emotion is arising from. There will be few books which make you realize that. So you give thought for your own thoughts. This generation's inspiration lies in speed, right? That speed of reading is increased a lot. You tend to without of your knowledge start flipping the pages. By reading, you start reading your own textbook in a way more faster way compared to before. And then now, sorry, okay, this is actually my personal experience. You'll be a very quick observer when you read a lot. Why does that happen? Because when you read so fast, your eyes tend to move so fast. So when somebody asks you to see something, your eyes move faster than usual people. So I feel you can be a very quick observer when you read a lot. Reading, like, books can be your best friend, books can be your best guide or tutor in your life. Why did I say that? Because let's say, for example, if you read a situation in a book which you haven't realized, which you haven't faced in your life, but fortunately when you're going to face the same kind of situations that you read in the book in your further life, you will be the best person to handle those situations. So that is what I realized in my journey to while I'm reading books. So when you want to train your brain emotionally, when you want to train your brain intellectually, like emotional intelligence or actual intelligence, I'm going to tell you one thing: reading can be the best thing that can do to you in this whole world. Because I think it's no wonder that all the successful people out there are very good readers, because this is why emotional intelligence increases to the next level. Based on the current situation, you can actually choose the books and read the books to handle the situation in a better way. Most of people do that. Based on the current situation, they tend to choose the books related to the situations, and the stories related to their lives. They read the books to handle the situations and lives better. So yeah, that is what books can do to you. They can be your best guardian.